There's quite a division among comics to movie fans. Some of us want to see a cartoon world with cartoon politics, cartoon antics, cartoon powers, and cartoon characters. Some of us, in stark contrast, want to see our favorite characters brought into a medium that allows us to see what they would be like in the real world. As much as we hate to admit it as a fandom, most of us fall somewhere on a spectrum for this. As classic as the superhero uniforms are in the comics, real vigilantes rarely don colorful costumes. Yet one of the things those of us want to see when we see our real superheroes is just exactly what those costumes would look like on a real body. On the other end, even those that want to see cartoon antics can look at some of the fight scenes in some of the live-action attempts at superhero media in the 70s and say, "That's not how something would move if it were actually thrown," or "That kind of punch would not have led to that response." Personally, I love the entire spectrum of superhero movies, but I definitely feel a gap at the end that's more realistic. This movie definitely works to fill the gap just a little. James, Logan, Howlett, and Charles Xavier are in hiding after Professor Xavier's telepathic seizures became dangerous. The X-Men, in whatever form they previously existed, died in the throes of one of seizures. Logan force feeds his former mentor his meds daily, and works as a limousine driver. Despite having lived for more than 200 years without aging, Logan is healing more slowly, starting to show the signs of aging, and starting to experience low levels of chronic pain. The reason is never explained in the movie, but an immortal has become mortal. In order to relieve both his mental anguish and his physical suffering, Logan has taken to drinking and keeps an adamantium bullet on hand for when the alcohol no longer reaches the pain. Then Logan meets a very young girl with claws and healing and reflexes and senses just like his own. This 10-year-old was created from Logan's genetic material in a laboratory. A Shadow Ops group was trying to create super soldiers out of mutant DNA. The problem with raising super soldiers is that eventually they become individuals. The medical staff brought on to tend the physical needs of the children helped the children to escape, then used fictional stories of the X-Men to orchestrate a plan for them to escape to Canada. Logan was initially very upset when he discovered that the plan was orchestrated around the plot of a comic book. The comic book described an event that had never happened. It showed all of Logan's former colleagues escaping those that sought to harm them. In reality, they had died at the accidental actions of their mentor. This movie was a very fitting send-off to a beloved comics-to-movie character and the actor that has played him so well. After spending the whole movie in true-to-character indifference and frustration, Logan sacrifices himself to save the young mutants from another of his clones. Redemption, sacrifice, great acting, and fantastic effects were all in play at this send-off. It could not have been done better. However, there is something that I would like to see in a realistic superhero movie. We do have a group of people in real life that don colorful costumes and fight crime. They're called police. We have a name for those that fight crime at the edge of what's legal. They're called vigilantes. Vigilantes in real life tend to deteriorate into criminals themselves. What I would love to see is a movie about someone with superpowers that feels that the right thing for him to do is join the police. This could go in two directions. Either the superhero could join the police force, or he could become an advisor and helper. There are a few television shows with this idea, but most of them are anti-heroes. I would love to see someone explore it with a true hero, joining the police, and doing what he needs to do from that position to do right by his society.